Iwo Jima on its southeastern beaches and fight inland. The 4th Marine Division will land to the north. To the south, the 5th Division will land next to Mount Suribachi, the highest point on the island. Once ashore, one regiment of the 5th will wheel left and assault the volcano. The 4th Division will capture the first airfield, Motoyama No. 1, just behind the landing beaches. The 3rd Division will remain offshore in floating reserve, ready to land if needed. After the initial assault, the 4th and 5th Divisions will run abreast along the fat part of the island, squeezing the enemy into the far corner of Iwo Jima like toothpaste in a tube. Operation Detachment departs from Saipan on February 10th for the 9-day, 600-mile sea voyage aboard a flotilla of almost 500 vessels carrying over 80 million pounds of supplies. The convoy is called Task Force 53. February 16th, 8 a.m. The task force, 6 miles off Iwo Jima, opens fire. The island receives a tremendous shelling from 74, 12, and 16-inch naval guns. Iwo Jima, and especially Mount Suribachi, is pounded up and down by sea and air for 3 days. The Marines aboard ship are impressed. Howlin' Mad Smith is not. He asked for 10 days of bombardment before landing his men and was denied. After 72 hours, the shelling lifts in preparation for the landings. The generals have done the planning, but the fighting and the dying is about to be done by privates, corporals, sergeants, and junior officers. February 19th, 1945. Operation Detachment, over 4 months in the making, is poised to begin landing. Marines of the 4th and 5th Divisions climb down landing nets and into LCVPs, better known as Higgins boats, named after their inventor, Andrew Higgins. The Higgins boat, a wooden, shallow-draft landing vessel with armored sides, is designed to ferry up to 36 men from ship to shore. It's fast, maneuverable, and strong, and Howlin' Smith is one of its most avid supporters. Marines cover the 4,000 yards from ship to shore in Higgins boats and amphibious tanks called Amtraks. As they approach the beaches, most Marines believe that 3 days of heavy shelling has pulverized the island's defenses and sapped the enemy's will to resist.
The Navy was bombarding this place. I figured they killed all the Japs. Whatever lived on that island was gone.
Not quite. On February 19th, 1945, the island looks as empty as it does today, but it isn't. 21,000 Japanese are waiting, hidden. General Kuribayashi has set a trap, and the Marines are walking straight into it.
You're watching Inside the Great Battles.
It's February 19th, 1945, and more than 40,000 Marines are landing right here on the beaches of Iwo Jima. The Japanese are to their left, inside Mount Suribachi, to their right at East Boat Basin, and directly in front of them at the first airfield, Motoyama No. 1. And something isn't right. There's too little resistance.
It's 9 a.m. Commanders radio back to the ships. All is going well.
Captain Headley was in my LVT with a radio. And he says, men, I got good news. First, second, third waves came in and there's not much firing. Except for small arms, not much artillery or mortars.
But if the Marines approaching Mount Suribachi could have seen inside the volcano, they wouldn't have been so confident. Suribachi has been turned into a buried fortress, bristling with thousands of men in hundreds of firing positions. The 3 days of shelling have shaken these defenses, but haven't come close to destroying them.
We are waiting with hand grenades, ready for the wall to rush forward into the enemy ranks with a sword in our hands. The only thing that worries me is what will happen to Japan after we die.
Kurabayashi is waiting 1 hour, waiting for the beach to fill with Marines, vehicles, and supplies, waiting for his punch to have maximum effect.
This is a Japanese gun emplacement. On February 19th, 1945, one of Kurabayashi's men awaits orders to open fire on the Marines landing on Iwo Jima. His command of the beach is impressive. Each Japanese soldier is expected to kill 10 of the enemy, and from here, he can.
When the order comes for the Japanese to shoot, the Marines will be raked by a murderous fire from the guts of Mount Suribachi. Both sides are in place and ready for battle. But that is where the similarities end. The typical Japanese soldier is about 5'3" and weighs 130 pounds. On Iwo Jima, he wears a basic tropical uniform: cotton tunic, cotton half-breeches, tabi shoes, and a plain field cap. His standard equipment includes a rifle, often a 7.7 millimeter Type 99, maybe a haversack full of grenades if he's lucky. He carries a water purifier because the sulfuric water on Iwo Jima is nearly undrinkable. He also has a mosquito head net, gloves, and insect repellent. For every Japanese soldier deployed in the Pacific, Japanese industry has produced 2 pounds of equipment. Yet, while the Japanese soldier is lightly equipped, his head and his heart are ready for battle. Japanese society expects him to keep fighting for the Divine Emperor, come victory or defeat. If he is to die, his death is foreordained. Surrender is the supreme humiliation. And this sense of honor, coupled with his calm in the face of death, makes the Japanese soldier a dangerous opponent. His U.S. Marine counterpart is very different. His average height is 5'9", his weight closer to 160 pounds. He carries an 8-shot M1 Garand rifle, which he has learned to assemble and disassemble blindfolded. He carries a 9-inch knife called a K-bar. He has a small shovel on his back for foxhole digging. His jungle first aid kit contains a field dressing, insect repellent, iodine, a tourniquet. For every American soldier deployed in the war, American industry has manufactured 8,000 pounds of equipment. Training for Marines is more intense than in other branches of the U.S. military. There's more emphasis on marksmanship and survival skills. Every Marine has been taught the techniques of fire and maneuver, and unlike his Japanese counterpart, he plans to survive the war.
The disciplined, fatalistic Japanese infantryman in his fortification, the flexible, resourceful Marine landing on the beach determined to survive, these are our warriors, and they are about to collide. It's 10 o'clock, the weather's good, 6,200 men are on the beach, 32,000 more are on their way, and General Kurabayashi's hidden guns open fire.
From their superior positions, the Japanese throw a withering blanket of fire at the Marines landing on the beaches. The numbers of dead and wounded start to mount. Destroyed landing craft begin to block the beachhead. The Marines fight hard, but they're stuck in bad terrain and are being fired at from all sides. On the first day alone, 2,420 Marines fall dead or wounded on the beach.
The firing all along the beach was murderous. The place was a mass of confusion. Men were being blown to pieces or wounded by shrapnel. And running in that ash was like running in a